Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Benjamin, and welcome to another GameMaker tutorial. If you're interested in learning more about GameMaker language outside of my videos, check out my link in the description, which has the book that I'm working on GameMaker. There you go. Now that that's out of the way, let's get started on the tutorial. This is going to be the 3D Magic RPG series, or whichever order I put those words in. And we are going to be adding a start menu and maybe doing a leveling system in this one. I think that's about a good place, some good things to work on. I've quit doing preparation videos for this. Why? Mostly because it's not the type of game that requires a lot of preparation, and also because I kind of, for some projects, it's kind of nice to see the thought process so you guys can see me do it while I'm thinking about it. Whereas some of my preparation videos, it feels like I'm just copying code over and explaining the code. But this way, you can kind of maybe follow my thought process a little. So it's also, since I'm trying to finish up my book and I'm doing 3 videos a week, it's kind of hard to have the time for the preparation video as well. So let's get started because I don't want to talk for forever about it. Menu. Let's add a menu first. So the first thing I'm going to do is, so we've got a room for the spells, and we've got, I said those in the opposite order that I meant to. We've got 2 rooms. One is for like the overworld, wherever we are. The other one is for the spells. Let's add another room, and we'll call this one room start screen. And I'm gonna make it 640 by 360, I think. What's the resolution on this thing? Oh, 1280 by 720. So we're gonna do the same thing with our start screen. Drag the room above the first room. So we'll go to the start screen room first. We're going to add a view to this room just to scale it, basically, is all. So we're going to do this 640 by 360. And then down here, we're going to do 1280 by 720, which is just double. I'm going to give it a background of, what's a good background color? I don't know. That. It's a little intense. Let's drag the opacity down just a bit, drag it over into the green. That's kind of a cool color for a background. I'm going to do kind of some stylized buttons for this that aren't exactly going to be, I don't know, you'll just have to see. So I'm going to create a new object, and we're going to call this object button. And I'm going to give it a, well, we're not going to give it a sprite, actually. I'm going to give it a create event. And, well, actually, let's call this one button parent. Because we're going to make some more generic type buttons. So what are these buttons going to have? Well, let's initialize button. They're going to have a text, right? So let's give them a text. And this one will just be like, okay, that's a good text for the parent button. They're going to have, what else are they going to have? An action. And this is going to be, I'm just going to set it equal to negative, well, let's do -1 here. The other ones will be able to assign a script to it. But so they each have an action. Okay. Now let's give them a, yeah, that's really all we need, I think. Now we're going to add some events. We're going to do mouse enter. So this is going to be what happens when the mouse hovers over this button, right? Well, the way I'm doing it, we actually can't use these because it's not going to have a collision mask. So we'll do it a different way. That's okay. add event, step. We're just going to do control the button, and we're going to do if point in rectangle. Now this is a cool function that someone pointed out to me. I can't remember exactly his name. It was like something with moons too, I think. Anyways, it was in one of my other videos. Smart guy showed me this function here, which is very useful. And let me close out of my emails so I don't get emails in the middle of my video. Basically, we can check to see if a point is inside a certain rectangle. So we actually we need to add another event in here, which is going to be not another event, but some more information, which is going to be width equals, I don't know, 32. Height equals 32. Let's make our width not 32. Let's make it 80 maybe. That's a good width. Well, yeah, whatever. We'll be overriding those on the other buttons we make. So we're gonna do if the mouse X and the mouse Y. So the first two arguments in this is the point that we're checking to see, and then the next four arguments are the left top corner point of the rectangle and the right bottom corner point of the rectangle. So we're just going to do x minus width divided by 2, y minus height divided by 2, x plus width divided by 2, and y plus height divided by 2. That way we can check to see if the mouse is inside. And if it is, we're going to change the alpha value of this image. So if the mouse is inside of this sprite, then we're going to give it an alpha value of 0.5. We'll want to actually set the image alpha. Image alpha equals 0.5. If it's not, image alpha equals 0.25. So it'll be 50% transparent if the mouse is hovering over it. Otherwise it'll be 75% transparent basically. Great, now we're going to add a draw event. Draw. And since this is just in the menu, I'm not going to use the draw GUI event. That's just because that's how I want to do it this time, and it doesn't really matter. So draw the button. So we're going to draw rectangle. Well, round rect color ext. Wow, I didn't even know they had an ext one. That's interesting. We'll just do round rect color. We're going to do x minus width divided by 2, y minus height divided by 2, x plus width divided by 2, y plus height. Let me maximize this. Divided by 2. So those are our 4 points. The color, we're going to do C white. C white for the second color as well. And for the outline, I'm just going to do false. Sweet. So we're drawing our nice little rectangle. We want to draw the text. So we're going to do draw text color. We're going to set the text. We're going to set some information about the text. Draw set H align, FA center. So we're going to set the horizontal line to center. Draw set V align, FA middle. The vertical alignment will be to middle. And now we can draw our text. We're going to do X, Y, text, which is the variable we created at the start. C white, C white, C white, C white. And an alpha of just 1. This rectangle should have given us an alpha value. It didn't. Okay, we're gonna have to do it this way then. Draw set alpha image alpha. Draw set alpha 1. So basically, let's see. Draw the text. So this draws the rectangle for the button, and we've got we're setting the image alpha to, remember how we're modifying the image alpha? We're just setting the draw set alpha, because this function you can't pass in an alpha, so we have to do it manually using the draw set alpha. And we set it back to 1 afterwards, because if you don't, then it'll draw everything at that alpha value. Now we've drawn the text, and we might, you know, it'd be kind of fun. So there's kind of a cheat way to do outlines around text. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Draw text. This is like, if you ever want outlines around your text, this is the cheat way that might not be the most optimized, but who cares, because it works, and I really doubt it's going to slow down a computer a ton. So maybe it will. I doubt it though. X, Y, text. So we're just going to draw the text with an X and a Y position of -1 and -1. And then you draw the text again with an X and a Y position of +1 and +1. And if you want to make it really nice, you can actually do the in-betweens as well. So X +1, Y -1, and then Y +1, X -1. So that gets all 4 edges basically of the text. So we're just drawing the same text, only black, all the way around the outside of the other text, offset by 1, you know, whatever. Let's 1 pixel. Let's put our button in the room just to see what it looks like real quick. We won't be able to do anything yet. There's the button right there. And when you hover over it, it lights up. The text sure doesn't look super great, does it? Scripts. Maybe we should draw on the GUI layer, or we could just not scale the room and scale our text using a font. I probably need to show you guys some more about fonts. So let's do that. Let's come in here. We're gonna change the room width to the actual size, which is 1280 by 720, right? And then I'm gonna move the button kind of to the center again, whatever. And then I'm just gonna change this from the draw event to change event to draw GUI. Okay. In the start screen, we no longer need a view, so you can uncheck the enable the use of views and uncheck visible when room starts. We don't need the view anymore because we're not scaling it anymore. And let's create a font. So press these 2 little T's right here and we can create a new font. I'm just going to call this font buttons, and I'm going to pick, I don't know, maybe Arial's fine. I'll just make it bold and turn off anti-aliasing. So this right here tells GameMaker what symbols basically you want to include in the font, and you can see over here which ones will be included. So you can add or subtract and change this. Those are fine for what we're doing. Basically, if you want to optimize your game, if you have a font that you know is only going to be used for numbers, you could tell it to only include the numbers, which just makes less stuff that GameMaker has to load. So let's set our size from 12 to 24. That's a little too big. Let's do 18. Yeah, that might look good. Okay, so we're going to do a size of 18. Now, when we're drawing the button right here, we're going to set the font. So we can do, let's see, set the font. So draw set font equals FA or font buttons, just like that. So we're setting the font. Now we're gonna probably have to change the size of our button. Let's double it. So let's make it 64 by 160. And let's run the game again and see if that's gonna look a little nicer. Yeah, that looks much cleaner than the other way. We might change these to 2 here to make our outline a little bit more prominent. I don't know. I might take this out. I was just showing you guys that this is a cheat way of doing outlines, so you don't necessarily have to do that. Yeah, I'm just gonna take it out. I don't really. It's not really working on parts of it. It doesn't look like it's doing the X pluses. Did I mess something up? X plus 2. No, I got both those in. Just doesn't really look that great. So with the plus 2s, it looked okay with the plus 1, but I'm just gonna take it out completely and check this again. Sweet, that looks really nice. We've got this nice OK button. We can't do anything yet when we click it, so let's fix that. So let's go into the button parent, add an event, do a mouse. Actually, let's go inside of our step event right here where we control the button. When we're setting the image alpha here, we already know we're over the mouse. So let's do an if mouse check button pressed MB left, right? So we're checking to see if they've pressed the left mouse button. What do we want to do? Well, we want to execute a script. Script execute, and we're just going to execute action. Okay. Yep, that looks good. We'll want to do another check in here actually as well to make sure that action is not equal to 0 or not equal to -1. Just because that's what we set it to. So if it is equal to -1, then this will not run the script that we want it to. So, okay, there we go. We've created our button. We don't need to call this button parent though, because I'm going to show you guys a way we can do something cool. So, cool. We'll leave it like that. Now let's create 2 scripts. I'm going to call this one script start game. Script start game. There we go. And we'll just do room go to room 1, right? What's it called? Oh, I actually named it room, like all the way out. Room 1. Okay, so that's good. We've got that script done. Come down to this room. I'm just going to make sure that it's the same as the others. Now we're going to add another script, and we'll call this one script exit game. So script exit game. Okay. And we're just going to do game end. Boom. You can end the game. Now we've got those 2 scripts created. Let's go back to our start screen, and I'm going to maximize this so I can see better. I'm going to drag this button over here. I'm going to create another button right here, kind of next to each other. Now I'm going to right click on this left button right here, and you can see it has what's called a creation code. So the creation code runs after the create event, but you can add a specific code to an instance inside of the room. So we're going to add a creation code, and we're going to call this start game button, and we're just going to do action. Let's do text equals start game, action equals script start game, right? And don't put the parentheses after, because that would try and call the script. We just want to set the script so to this variable. So this just creates a reference to that script. It doesn't actually call the script yet, because we're going to have that happen when we execute the action inside of the click event. So then we're going to do width equals, let's see what, I set the height, I want the heights to be the same, so I'm not going to touch the height actually. I'm just going to do width equals, maybe you don't need to mess with the width and height, they might be enough. So I'm just going to leave those the same. Now I'm going to copy this, just do Control C. And if you hover over it, it'll show you what the thing is, but my tooltips don't work very well. So I'm going to hover over this one and do creation code, paste this in, and this is going to be exit game button, and we'll just call this exit, and script exit game. Sweet. Now we should have two buttons on our start menu that allow us to either start the game or exit the game. And this might cause a few problems in our actual game, but there we go. Okay, we've got those. We can exit the game. When we click on it, you can see it exits it. Now, why does that happen? Well, it's because we set the action equal to a script, and that action gets called when we click and we're inside of the rectangle of the button. So we're executing that script right here. So that's kind of a cool way to create one generic button, so you don't have to create a million different buttons in your game. You can just create one, and then you can just, inside the rooms, you can give them their own specific action, you know, which is going to be the script that gets run when you click on that button. So it's a really good way to create one object but have tons of different options for that one object. So let's see if we can actually start the game with it now. And you can see that messes some things up. It sets the font on the other things. It also fired a spell. Oh, it's because when you hold the button down. So let's create another font. We'll call this font HUD. Well, we'll just call it font stats. Okay, I'm just going to set it to 12 and set it not to bold, and that looks good. So what we're going to want to do is inside of our script where we start the game, we're going to want to change the font again. So draw set font and just do font stats. And we also need to set the alignments back. Draw set H align FA left. Draw set V align FA top, I think is what it defaults at. We'll see if it, let's see, cancel. I don't want to open a new game. So we'll see if that worked. Sure hope I'm recording this. Oh, yeah, it looks like I am. That's good. Okay, so let's start the game. Oh, that looks good. Sweet. I think it's a different font from what we originally had. But it doesn't look bad. I actually like this font better than what we originally had. So let's switch to the ice spell. It's way better against these rats. Does more damage. So let's do leveling up, because I can do that real quick. We've got a basic start screen now. What you'd want to do is create like some cool background on the start screen, right? So that it's not just a boring nothingness. I've got a background I could actually use. Maybe. Now I'll just leave it for now. Maybe I'll do a Let's Pixel type video, except it wouldn't be a Let's Pixel, it'd be like a Let's Draw, where I'd show you guys how to do like a background that we could do here. That's a good idea for next week. Also, sorry about last week's Let's Pixel. I had to take it down because the audio was messed up. I don't know what happened. That was weird, but it was frustrating because, that was I liked that video. I'm just mad the audio was all messed up. So there wasn't a Let's Pixel video on Thursday. Unfortunately, I had to take it down. Some of you saw it anyways, but yeah. Level up. Okay. I got distracted. So when a rat dies, let's see. What do we have for stats? I don't even remember. Player stats. Okay, so we do have experience and max experience. Okay, sweet. Let's add a step event to our player stats, and we need to control. Let's do level up the play, or check for level up. If global dot stat experience is greater than or equal to global dot max experience, then level or global dot level plus, or if you're an older version of GameMaker, you have to use plus equals 1, I'm pretty sure, but that's okay. Let's see, do I have an attack? I have a mana and an HP, and that's it. Okay, that's fine. So global dot HP plus equals 5. Global dot max HP plus equals 5. Global dot mana plus equals 5. Global dot max mana plus equals 5. So we're just adding to our stats. And then let's see, so we added to the level, added to the stats. Now we need to fix the experience so that we're not, this would just level up for forever if we don't set it back to what it needs to be. Now there's potential that the experience could be higher than the max experience. For example, you could have a max experience of 10, but you actually have 12 experience because you got, 5, you were at 8 experience and then you got 4 experience, so it put you clear over 2. You don't want to waste that experience. You want to make sure that it gets added onto the next level. So you do global dot experience equals global dot max experience minus global dot experience. And then you set global dot max experience. We need to add to it so that the next level takes longer to get to. So I'm just going to do plus equals 5 as well. Now these numbers, I'm just pulling these out of my hat. So you've got to test numbers and see what works for you. You might want to only add 2 mana or 3 mana. You might want to add 20 to the experience every time, so it takes them longer to level up. I don't know. You have to play around with these numbers and see what works good for you. Except exit the game. That's a convenient button, actually. Glad we added that in. So here's a problem. We don't actually gain experience right now. So let's go into the rat where it dies. Where's that? In the step event of the rat, I'm pretty sure. And for each rat, let's do global.experience plus equals, I don't know, 2. These are pretty hard rats, They might be harder than if you put slimes in here or whatever, So we'll add to your experience by 2. Let's start the game and hit this rat. Switch to the ice spell. And so we need to kill 5 rats, right? And then we should level up. Is that 4? I think that's 4. Let's come over here. Where'd they go? There they are. They like to hit the walls, don't they? Oh, there, that one's on me. Boom. So now I'm level 2. So I've got more health than I did before. And more mana. So there's a basic level up system for you. It would be good to have a visual representation of your experience though. So maybe we'll add that in next video if I can remember. But that's something that would be a good thing to do. I think what I need to do next video, I need to do some sound effects. Because I haven't done a video on sound effects since my floppy cat tutorial series, which is like ancient. It's like over a year old, or at least a year old. And so I'm going to do one on sound effects just because the sound effects system has changed since then. So I should probably add sound effects into this game. And I'll show you guys a neat little website where you can create some of your own sound effects too. They won't be like fancy, but they'll work as filler sound effects until you can get someone who actually knows what they're doing. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure and like, favorite, and subscribe. Share this video if it was useful to you. And I will talk to you guys later.